What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we got some Detroit Lions news. Here we go again. You know, another day, another what the heck am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Let's get it started.
No, I got to shout out DoseOfDion, man, because it was actually the first time I went live on YouTube. And, you know, guys don't know DoseOfDion. He put out a lot of good content for the Detroit Lions.
Welcome, everybody, to another video. Glad you guys are here. And we got two things to report today. All right, two things. Two. One of them are true. One of them is not true, okay? So you guys have to guess which one it is, all right? I'm going to give you guys the headlines. You guess which one is true, which one is false, and I'll tell you, of course, all right? First, the Detroit Lions are going to be bringing in safety/cornerback Damontae Kazee for a visit next week, all right? That's the first headline. The second headline is the Detroit Lions are in talks with the Jacksonville Jaguars for the #1 pick because they want to get the best kicker available. Okay, which one do you think is true? I think I fooled you. The second one's true. That's right. The Lions are looking to get a kicker. So Lions said, you know what, Randy, we saw you one day in practice. You are terrible. We are going to draft a kicker. They decided they're going the route if they want the best kicker available. So expect the Detroit Lions to give up every single first-round pick they acquired from Matthew Stafford and jump on a kicker. And I absolutely love the move. I love the move. How important really is a kicker? Very important. And anyways, those picks are going to be bust anyways, right? So what's the point of keeping those? The Detroit Lions need to land a kicker. You can trust this is true because this comes from my guy, Austin. You know, he's kind of like the source, you know. So that's the end of the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'm out. All right. I'm sorry. That you know that wasn't right. You guys, all right. It's the first headline that's true. Okay. Did I fool you? No. If I got you, say something. I tried. I really did. It wasn't that good. I could have done way better with that. But anyways, let's talk about it. So I'm gonna throw this in here before I hold myself the L here. So as you guys know, when I watch film, I don't hear the announcers, so I don't always pronounce names correctly, and that's kind of what happened in this video. So I realized that I was saying Kazee. Not sure why I was saying that, but it's actually Kazee.
Blake.
What? Do you want to go to war, Malaki?
No.
Because we could go to war.
No.
I'm for real. So you better check yourself.
It's like Kazee. I think that's how you pronounce his name from what I've heard. I just really wasn't listening. I was watching film and taking my notes and stuff, reading his name. And to me, it sounded out like Kazee. Kazee. Okay, I like that. Kazee. But it's Kazee. So for anybody out there that's going to be annoyed by that, I'm sorry. Just hand me the L now. Just hand him over. Come on. Let's just get this done with so we can start the video. Oh my. How many L's y'all? My goodness. All right. Fine. Thank you. Now enjoy the... Hey, watch out. I'm going to throw him. Move out of the way. Oh, that's what I told him. And he came here and he was... I'm sorry. You didn't move. Enjoy the video. Demonte coming in for a workout/visit with the Detroit Lions next week. I don't know if it's as much of a workout as necessarily just a visit. Maybe just to talk to him. I'm not sure. But I know Lions are not alone on this. The Dallas Cowboys are going to do the same thing. I know they're also bringing in Malik Hooker. Not us, the Cowboys. I'm not sure if anybody else is, but that is the other team that I've heard of. Now, Demonte has had a very interesting path so far through his NFL career, really starting back at college, where he went to San Diego State University. He was a two-time Defensive Player of the Year that was drafted in the 5th round by the Atlanta Falcons. Now, in college, he played in an interesting 3-3-5 defense where he played the cornerback position. So he was a cornerback that was a ball hawk. He had 8 interceptions. The guy just great instincts, great ball skills. But one issue was size. At 5'11", around 175 pounds. Some people projected up to 190, but more in college, it's probably a little bit smaller. Didn't have great size for a cornerback. So it made him seem like he was going to be very limited to a slot cornerback role because he couldn't handle those outside type of receivers. Also, his form tackling was a little off, but he was a very aggressive corner that was a very willing hitter. He would try the pop players if he had the opportunity. He just wasn't always making the tackles consistently. And like I said, his size was a very big issue coming out of college. So the Atlanta Falcons bring him in. And in his rookie season, he plays in 16 games, but they don't really let him play defensively. They don't have a need for him. They drafted him in the 5th round, which is day 3, and they decided just to mainly play him on special teams. So they already had their 2 safeties. They didn't need to worry about putting him there, so they let him just play special teams. But then his second year comes around, and his second year comes in 2018. This is where we saw the breakout. 2018 rolls around, and they give him an opportunity to play the deep safety/free safety position for the Atlanta Falcons, which is exactly what I want the Detroit Lions to target this offseason. So I wasn't sure what the Lions were going to do. You know, I made the video on Trey Boston saying, hey, this is the kind type of guy that we should definitely target. He can play deep safety, which is actually what you see Marcus Williams did at times with the Saints. Even though we're probably going to run more two-man split coverages, he can do that. He's a ball hawk, which the Lions don't have in coverage currently, especially if they lose Ron Harmon. Walker's never been a ball hawk. Will Harris is not a ball hawk. We don't have that guy in the back end that can make plays for us, when the ball is up and in the air. So this is what I wanted the Lions to target. But if they were going to move Tracy Walker back to free safety, then they could have said, okay, let's go with a strong safety look. And they still can. But this is not necessarily that guy completely. But 2018 rolls around, he gets the opportunity to be that deep safety for the Atlanta Falcons. They played a lot of, cover one deep safety. And I think the Lions will mix it in. I don't think they'll play it all. I expect to see even more split safety looks next season. I do think the Detroit Lions will mix it in because I saw Marcus Williams get some of that last season. So his ability to do it helps, but he'll definitely have to show that he can play the split safety set, which I think he can, and we'll talk about why in a second. But regardless, 2018 rolls around and he puts up a great season. That's unbelievable number. I mean, unbelievable numbers for a guy that wasn't playing the year before, for a 5th-round pick. And the thing is, like I said, he was a tremendous talent coming out of college. The thing is, he was too small to play corner, which is what his position was, and he didn't go to the biggest school. So it's like, okay, how's this guy gonna fit? Well, he was tremendous for a reason. And that ball hawk and instinct skills were shown off playing the safety spot, because in 2018 his numbers were tremendous. He allowed 53% completion percentage, 82.1 pass rating, 16 yards per completion, which is understandable because he's playing the safety spot, 4 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 10 passes defended, 82 total tackles to 13 missed tackles. So yes, a little bit of missed tackles there. Like I said, that was a little bit of the issue coming out of college, is sometimes he would fail to wrap up, and I noticed that a few times just checking out the little film that I did. I didn't go completely into it because we haven't signed him yet, but there were some issues with that, but he's very willing to hit. He'll fly across the field, he'll get inside the box and make some tackles, running backs, receivers. He doesn't matter who it is. He's going to make tackles, and he wants to rack them up. He kind of has that Okuda mentality. He just wants to get involved in every single tackle, and you love to have guys like that in the back end are just flying down to try to make plays on the football and aren't really shying away from contact. They instead, welcome contact. So 2018, great season. But then 2019 comes around after this tremendous year, and we're thinking, okay, he'll be our safety again. Well, not necessarily. So he goes to slot cornerback because the Atlanta Falcons decided to move on from Poole, and they also decided to move on from Alfred. So they had a spot open at slot cornerback, which is what he could do at college. And he had the size to play slot in the NFL. So he said, all right, let's make you a slot cornerback. He was fine, but he wasn't as good. He was fine. It was okay, but you could just tell he was less impactful. He wasn't the ball hawk because he wasn't playing safety and he wasn't getting to read everything. And he was okay. He doesn't have tremendous speed, and you could see that against some slot receivers assignments. He just couldn't keep up. He simply just couldn't keep up with the receiver that was dragging across the field. The effort was there. You could put him in the box. He could tackle. He could tackle receivers. He could play against screens well, but just in coverage, he just didn't look as good. He didn't have that same kind of twitch. He didn't have that same kind of change of direction that you would hope from some of the top cornerbacks. So slot was fine, but it wasn't his best. But they had to do it because they lost some players. However, an injury went down in the back end. An injury went down for the Falcons for one of these starting safeties. So he got an opportunity to move back to free safety. And then once again, he started to look really comfortable. He ended up that season putting up a stat line of 65% completion percentage allowed, a 66.3 pass rating, 11 yards per completion, 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions, 74 tackles to 11 missed tackles. Now, some of that's different because some was slot, some was free safety, but they moved him back to deep safety, and he just looked better. I mean, you could just tell by watching the film, the guy looked more comfortable. He got to just show off, hey, my ball skills, my instincts, my ability to just, make a play on the football and just to come up and be a playmaker in the back end. That's what he got to do his best. And that was his best coming out of college. But he was the size of a corner, and he played the cornerback spot. But the Falcons did a great thing moving him to safety and allowing him to just do what he did well and kind of take away his weaknesses, which was size. You'd be a huge guy if you're playing the deep safety position, right? Now, speed, it's not the best. It's not the top end. It's about average. I would say it's about average. But it was a great position for them to put him in. However, 2020 was a really rough season for him because he went down in week 4 with an Achilles injury that would take him out for the season. So, unfortunately, 2020, he really just didn't get to play. So, after 2 strong seasons at safety, some people are saying he's one of the top in the league. Now he goes down with an injury. And 2020's injury takes him out for most of the year, and now he's set to hit free agency. Something that Malik Hooker has dealt with too is injuries. The thing is, Kazee has been way better at the safety position. He's been way more consistent, and he's only 27 years old, which is impressive. So if you're a team that needs a ball hawk in the back end, that needs a guy that can play those cover one situations when you want to, but also I think can play split safety because I've seen the ability to play slot, and I know the kind of, skill that he does have. I think he can play either safety spot because of his ability to tackle, but then he's not completely mismatched if you slide him down and say, hey, go take this corner. Hey, go line up with this guy. He's going to be in a mismatch size-wise if you put him on a tight end, but he's going to be physical. He'll bump you at the line. He's going to go after. He can tackle. So I think because of that versatility that he showed off, and of course, Dan Campbell played against him multiple times because he was with the Falcons and Campbell was with the New Orleans Saints, so we got to see him multiple times. I think that versatility is always exciting because it allows the Lions that they brought him in to play him in a lot of different spots. You play 3 safety sets, you can move these guys all around, but to me, it lines up as if you bring him in, you can use him as your free safety. You can have Tracy Walker be more of the strong safety, which is kind of what he became last season, and Will Harris will be more of that box/slot guy, someone that you try to develop there. And of course, you can always draft more competition, but I think it makes a lot of sense because the Lions just don't have a ball hawk in the back end, and that's why I was pushing for Trey Boston. Boston does a lot of similar things. The difference is with Trey Boston is that last season, instead of being injured, he came off a bad year because he was playing a different position, and he's also a little bit older. He's not as young as Kazee. Kazee's coming off an injury, a little bit younger, and he's someone that Dan Campbell played against multiple times. Trey Boston has ties with Anthony Lynn. So, look, they're both fine. Really, they are. You could say, yeah, just go draft somebody and develop him because I think the Lions can develop guys. We've seen what their staff can do with safeties, and I think they'll help Tracy Walker and Will, and maybe if they bring someone else in, they still can't even if they sign a guy like this. But to have someone that, is proven in the back end is very important because, look at our secondary right now, right? You take Deron Harmon out of it because he's gone. Who in the back end can you say, okay, this guy can do his job, and I don't really need to worry about it. Walker needs work. Amani, Jeff Okuda. Our cornerbacks are young. You're probably going to bring in more young cornerbacks because you have holes to fill. That's probably going to be drafted. So to have at least one guy in the back end that you can say, hey, this guy can make plays. I've seen it as long as he's healthy. So we don't really need to develop him as much as the other guys. Okay, the other guys need some work. Also, Keanu Neal's brought up. Now, Neal's interesting, but he hasn't been much of a ball hawk as a guy like Kazee has been. Kazee's been the deep safety, ball hawk, go make plays with the ball in the air. Neal slips in at free safety, kind of more like a strong safety as well, more of a tackling machine, more of a get it out and make plays in the run game, which again, Kazee can do at a high level, but he's way less of a ball hawk. So it's kind of what you're looking for here. And that would be fine, especially if you move Tracy to be a free safety, I think. But I think you need someone proven in the back end that can make plays on the ball. I was pushing for that because remember we go through the team needs, I'd always say free safety. The reason I say that is because I don't think Walker's ever been just tremendous, making plays in the back end. I think because of his size and speed, he can play better as a strong safety with the right coaching. I don't think he's to his potential yet. I think he has a higher ceiling as a strong safety at the next level. Damontae Kazee could have we have already seen as a ridiculous high ceiling. 7 interceptions in a year, that's not a joke, right? That's insane. 7 interceptions in a year is pretty insane when you talk about really his first year playing. You're not going to find many safeties in the league that can do that. So if his price goes down a little bit, he'll show some interest. But if his price goes down a little bit because of the injury, things like that, the Lions could be looking at snagging a relatively young safety, and then you're just hoping he can bounce back from that injury and be good to go next season. And that's why they're likely bringing him in for a visit, just to see where he's at physically. So we'll hear the news on that hopefully sometime next week. Make it happen. Let's do it. Let's do it right now. Actually, hey, let's do it yesterday. We should have been done. Why is this not done yet? No, I'm playing. Thank you for watching, and I'm out.